Hello and welcome to BLOODFIELDS. My name is Kuba from Titanforge and today I will show you some basic mechanics used in the game. You may already be familiar with wargames and know that to play you will require some space, dice, measuring tools, terrain models and of course the miniatures. You will find all those elements in the Kickstarter set by backing this project. You can print out everything right away on your home 3D printer. In the game, both you and your opponent will create your own team of heroes and face off in a conflict. Depending on the scenario, you will have to adjust your strategy, all that for glory and the blood tribute to the gods of your realms. The game is divided into rounds and individual units' turns. Both players activate one unit alternately until all units exercise their orders, and then a new round begins where the units can be activated again. At the beginning of each round, you will also distribute inspiration tokens to your units that can be spent in critical situations to improve their attacks and defense tests or to pay for special attacks and abilities. Each unit is represented by its model and a unit card with all information about its statistics and skills. When a unit is activated, it can perform up to 2 actions combined of moving, attacking, charging, casting spells and using abilities. Let's jump into battle and see how it's all executed. In this situation, we have the Dragon Empire Warband closing in on a vampire's flag. The Dragon Empire player has the initiative, so they start and choose to activate Senin He first. For his first action, he will move by a value indicated by his movement statistic to get in range to cast a spell. Now, for its second action, the unit will begin magic. The number of spells it can cast in a single magic action is indicated by the unit's magic level. At any time during the game, you can measure all distances between models. Here, Senin He is now in range to cast a dragon missile on the silent one. When casting a spell, you have to pass a magic test first. The test's difficulty is always indicated in the spell's profile. In Magic Test, you roll 2d6 and choose a higher result. Then you add that result to your Magic Mastery statistic. If the sum is equal or higher than the spell's difficulty, it is successfully cast and you can now follow the instruction in the spell's profile. Senin He rolls 5 and a 6, adds 6 to his Magic Mastery of 4 and the sum is 10, so higher than the Dragon Missile's difficulty of 8. Dragon Missile is now resolved. It is an offensive spell and therefore an attack. All attacks in the game use the same attack test. You roll the number of dice indicated on an attack to see how many hits there will be. In the case of Dragon Missile, it uses 6 attacks dice. On those dice there are 4 different results. The skull result indicates a hit. A banner result indicates that the attack can be a hit if a unit spends an inspiration token. If you decide to use inspiration, all banner results are changed to hits. A mastery result indicates that the attack can be a hit if a unit is skilled enough. To check it, melee attacks use a weapon mastery statistic, ranged attacks use a ranged mastery, and magic attacks use various masteries depending on the spell. Dragon Missile requires accuracy, so the spell uses a ranged mastery. The unit's mastery is indicated by the value of the mastery statistic. A statistic with a value of 5 or higher means that the unit is an expert in using those kinds of attacks. In such a case, all mastery results on the attack dice can be changed to hits. A statistic with a value of 4 means that a unit is skilled with this type of attack. You can change one of the mastery results into a hit, and if the statistic is a 3 or lower, it represents a lack of skill and all their mastery results are fails. Senin rolls 6 attack dice and has 1 skull, 2 banners, 2 masteries and 1 blank result. The skull is a hit, but he also spends 1 inspiration token to change all banner results to hits. Additionally, because Senin's ranged mastery is 4, he changes one of the mastery results to a hit. The blank is always a fail, so in the end he has 4 hits. After establishing the number of hits, the enemy unit has a chance to defend themselves with a defense test. The defense test is very similar to an attack test, but it uses the defense die instead. For each hit from the attack test, the defender rolls a defense die. The deflect results are saves. The banner results can be changed into save by using inspiration, and the armor results can be changed into saves depending on the unit's armor. Heavy armor allows to change all armor results to saves. Light armor allows to change one armor result to a save, and when a unit has no armor, all these results are fails. The silent one rolls 4 defense die and has 1 deflect, 1 banner, 1 mastery and 1 blank. The deflect is a save. His heavy armor allows him to change all, in this case 1, mastery results to save, and he chooses to not spend an inspiration token, so all banner results, in this case 1, are fails, and so is the blank result. To sum up, that means that 2 out of 4 hits coming at him are saved. The final step is then to deal the damage. The amount of damage dealt by each hit is indicated in the attack's profile. Dragon Missile applies 1 damage for each hit. The damage is then placed on the Silent One's unit card. Senin He is a level 2 mage, so he can cast up to 2 spells in a single magic action. For his second spell, he chooses to cast a supportive spell on his ally. In order to do so, he has to, again, pass the magic test and exceed the spell's difficulty. The test is successful and an ally receives a marker that grants him critical strike in the next turn as stated in the Inner Flames spell profile. Senin cannot cast any more spells and does not have any actions left, so his turn ends. Now the vampire player chooses one of their units to activate. The mage came a bit too close and he is in range of the Silent One's charge, so he is probably the right unit to activate now. As his first action, he uses a regular move action. And as a second action, he chooses to charge. Charging is better than simply moving up to an enemy because it gives the unit some extra movement and also a free attack. That's if a charge is successful, because it can fail sometimes if the units are far apart and it will ruin your plans. In order to charge, a unit has to pass a charge test. First, you measure the distance between the models. Then, the same way as in the magic test, you roll 2 d6 dice. Choose a higher result and add it to the unit's movement statistic. If the sum is equal or higher than the distance between the unit, you can move into combat. It is represented by the unit's touching bases. Senin He is 7 inches from the Silent One. The Silent One charges and rolls 3 and a 5, adds the 5 to his 4 movement and passes the test. He moves into combat and now has 1 free attack action as a result of the charge. He uses the blood attack that has no inspiration costs and rolls 5 attack dice. He rolls 2 skulls and 3 fails, so he has 2 hits. Senin He rolls 2 dice for defense and rolls 2 banners, but has no inspiration left, so he takes 2 hits. The Silent One restores 1 health, as it is stated in the Blood's attack profile. That's everything from the Silent One. Back to the Dragon Empire. The player has only the Ronin left to activate in this round. Ronin has a ranged Star Shuriken attack. However, he cannot use it against the Silent One, because he is in combat with Senin He and there is a high risk of a friendly fire. He also cannot use it against Vivienne, because there is terrain between them. He can, however, use his first action to move out of the cover and then use a second action to use a ranged attack against her. The Star Shuriken uses 3 attack dice and has a critical strike thanks to the Inner Flame spell cast earlier. Critical strike make all skull results automatic hits and the enemy does not get to roll a defense die against them during their defense test. Ronin rolls 1 skull and 2 blanks. Because he has a critical strike, Vivienne gets no defense test against his 1 hit and loses 2 HP. Now it's Vivienne's turn. Apart from attacks and spells, there are also abilities in the unit's arsenals. To use an ability, a unit does not have to pass any test. In most cases, they have to pay the inspiration cost of an ability. Vivienne's ability allows her to fly into a combat that a friendly unit is already in and attack immediately. As a first action, she closes the distance, and as a second, uses the Bloodfest by spending 2 inspiration tokens. Afterwards, she attacks using the Bite. She rolls 3 mastery results. Her weapon mastery used for melee attacks is 5, so she can change all these results into hits. Senin-He rolls for defense and rolls 3 armor results, but because his cards state that he has no armor, all of these results are fails and he is defeated. Vivienne restores 2 HP with her passive ability and does it just in time because Senin explodes with his own passive ability and deals 2 damage to her. Now it's up to Ronin to deal with the remaining vampires. Because all units have been activated once, the round ends and a new one begins. Players determine the initiative for the new round, distribute the inspiration tokens to the units that will need them, and can alternately activate units in a new order. Thank you for watching this presentation. BLOODFIELDS is not only a game, but a whole wargaming system that will be constantly updated with new exciting miniatures and new rules to back them up. Check out the game and join the BLOODFIELDS right from the start. See you soon in another video where we'll go more in depth with the rules.